Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. This is Easy Accounting channel. Today we are studying IFRS 7, International Financial Reporting Standard 7, Financial Instruments. It says it requires disclosure of information about the significance of financial instruments to an entity and the nature and the extent of risk arising from the financial instrument, both the qualitative terms and the quantitative terms. So what are the disclosure requirements of IFRS 7? 1. The disclosure requires that the information about the significance of the financial instrument and also information about the nature and the extent of the risk that is arising from the financial instrument. That is the disclosure requirements. Now let's talk about the information about the significance of the financial statements. Number 1, about the statement of financial position. What is the requirement? What do we require for the financial position? 1. Disclosure of the significance of the financial instrument for the entity. The financial instrument that is held to maturity, the loans, the receivable, and the financial liability at fair value. And other special balance sheet require must be disclosed in the financial statement, while the disclosure in the comprehensive income, that is the P&L, require the income, the expense, the gains, the losses, with separate disclosure of the gains and loss in the face of the financial statement. And also we have to disclose the financial instrument held to maturity, the loans, the receivables available for sale, and the financial liability at fair value, as well as amortization value. Other income statement related disclosure, also the impairment losses from the financial assets, the interest income on impaired financial assets. So we now talk about the nature and extent of exposure to risk that is arising from the financial instruments. We have 2 types of risk. 1, the qualitative disclosure. 2, the quantitative disclosure. Let's explain the qualitative disclosure. This is the risk about the financial instruments, and also the changes from the period to period of the financial instruments, and also the management objectives and their policy for managing those risks. Now the qualitative disclosure. This include the risk about the credits, the liquidity, the market, the concentration, and also the exposure of the risk. Now let's explain each of these terms. The credit risk. This is the risk that one party to the financial instrument will cause a loss for the other party by failing to pay its obligation. That is, the amount of disclosure described in the collateral was not able to pay, and also the financial assets that are past due or impairments. Analytical disclosure are required, and also information about the collateral or other credit enhancements. Now let's explain the liquidity risk. Liquidity risk is the risk that an entity will have difficulty in paying its financial liability. That is when it's mature, and also the approach of management to the risk. Now let's talk about the market risk. This is the risk that the fair value or the cash flow of the financial instrument will fluctuate due to the market prices. So this should be sensitive. There should be sensitive analysis to explain this market risk. Let's talk about transfer of financial assets. So an entity shall disclose information that enables users of financial statements to understand the relationship between the transfer financial assets that are not derecognized in their entirely and in the associated liability, and also to evaluate the risk associated with the financial assets, and also the transfer assets that are not derecognized in their entirety. Now let's talk about transferred financial assets that are derecognized in their entity. So IFRS 7 require disclosure include the carrying amounts of the assets and liability recognized, the fair value of the assets and the liability that represent continued involvement, maximum exposure to risks from the continued involvement as well. Thank you for coming to my channel. I hope to see you in my next video. Please subscribe to my channel. Thank you. Bye.